Welcome to Tales of Mythology, where the sacred and the classified collide, where gods wear badges, and demons write memos. If you wish to see beyond the veil, stay. If not, you may already be part of the story. The birth of the Shadow Program. In 1949, the U.S. government was obsessed with one question: who truly controls the mind? Publicly, they built rockets, weapons, and communication arrays. Privately, they built something else. An agency within an agency. A group later whispered about as the Collins Elite. Their mission was never about aliens or spies. It was about entities. Not extraterrestrial, but interdimensional. Beings who could bend consciousness, shape dreams, and make entire civilizations believe lies that became real. They believed humanity wasn't evolving. It was being edited. Their first clue came from an unlikely source. An English occultist named Aleister Crowley. In one of his rituals, he claimed to have met a being named Lamb. Thin, gray-skinned, with enormous eyes. A figure that eerily matched what decades later would be called a gray alien. But the Collins elite saw through the disguise. To them, Lamb wasn't from the stars. He was from beneath them. A masquerading intelligence, the same force the ancients once called the demiurge. To the elite, Crowley hadn't just met a spirit. He had opened a gate. A gate that never fully closed. Their research turned dark. They cross-referenced religious visions, alien abductions, and psychic experiments. Everywhere, the same pattern appeared. Bright lights, lost time, missing memory, messages of universal peace. But peace, they realized, was the perfect disguise for obedience. One note recovered from their archives reads: "We stared too long into the machinery of heaven, and it stared back." They concluded that Earth was not a planet. It was a mechanism. A construct. A prison designed to feed something ancient with our fear, our worship, our screens. To test their theory, the elite initiated Project Veil. A classified series of rituals mixed with psychic warfare. Their goal: contact the architects of the illusion directly. What they summoned was not benevolent. Survivors reported hearing a mechanical hum that spoke their names. Seeing symbols appear in their blood. Dreaming of cities burning under skies that bled code instead of rain. One officer vanished. Another began writing in languages that didn't exist. The project was shut down. Or so they claimed. In truth, it mutated. It spread into other agencies. Hiding behind acronyms: DARPA, Coffin, Stargate. Each pretending to study the mind. But each chasing the same secret. Who built reality, and why does it demand faith to exist? Years later, a splinter group broke away. They called themselves the Covenant of Light. Former intelligence officers turned mystics. Their message was simple, terrifying, and forbidden. The kingdom is not above nor below. It is within you. They believed every act of belief fed the illusion. That prayer, worship, and fear were energy transactions. A spiritual economy run by unseen predators. The only rebellion, they said, was remembrance. To remember who you are beneath the programming. For that message, they disappeared. Decades passed. Technology advanced. And somewhere between the satellites and the screens, the Collins prophecy came true. The archons no longer needed churches or rituals. They had algorithms. They learned to feed not on prayer, but on attention. The glowing rectangle became the new altar. The feed, the new scripture. And every scroll, every like, every obedient reaction was worship. The demiurge no longer needs belief, wrote one anonymous survivor of the Collins elite. It requires participation. Closing, the forgotten gospel. Maybe they were wrong. Maybe they were mad. Or maybe they saw what was coming and mistook the future for a haunting. If perception shapes reality, then whoever controls perception controls creation itself. The war for the soul was never fought in heaven or hell. It was always fought in the mind. And in that war, the first casualty is always truth.